All right. Court is calling 2024 CR 4905, State of Texas versus David Gonzalez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason, your hand, you're up.
Defense.
Linda Cranby, Mr. Gonzalez is to my right.
And are you David Gonzalez?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
To the best of my knowledge, yes, we've received it.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Gonzalez, did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision with
Yes.
your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand it and did you sign it?
I understood it and I signed.
Did you review the document entitled True Bill of Indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, please.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Your Honor.
Did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right. Did you understand you're charged with the offense of retaliation? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Off the record, counsel, your client needs to speak.
Sorry.
All right, back on the record. Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes,
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
yes,
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
yes.
Mr. Gonzalez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, there's a $1,500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. They're taking in consideration 729,376. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense, is that the plea?
Yes.
State, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
And state, is there any restitution in the county court 15 case?
It's a theft from Walmart, Your Honor.
Okay.
We're not seeking that restitution this time.
All right, thank you. Did you review the paragraph, the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places? Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation and 150 hours community service restitution. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations? Then to the offenses charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty?
All right, state, any evidence?
No objection.
All right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same.
Leland McRae.
All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding you guilty as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, please.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
He has no prior felony record. I just had one too many beers and started talking crazy to the police.
All right,
Yeah, can I say something?
sure.
Yeah, I had got off the bus and I had a little bit of beer in a HB bag, and when I got off in Travis Park, and I guess you're not supposed to have a can, and I took it out, and they made me stand there with the can. And I kind of like got frustrated, and then they said that I had warrants for grand theft auto and possession of firearm, which wasn't me, so I kind of had like a little, like, wasn't me, and we started arguing, and that's when, I don't recall threatening it, but I did have a few bad words for them, and I regret it, but.
Well, here's the thing.
I mean, I'm not.
Some
trying to-
people, no, let me just explain something to you. There are laws. Sometimes officers will give you a pass. But they most definitely will not give you a pass if you're being disrespectful.
And I was.
So, yeah. So maybe if you were not disrespectful, we wouldn't even be here. Guess
Yeah.
what? You would have just had a ticket for drinking alcohol in public.
I've thought about that so many times.
Yeah, and so you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to drink alcohol on the bus. And guess what? People who are on the bus, get the thing. Here's the thing. People are on the bus. They don't want to be sitting next to somebody drinking alcohol from a paper bag. That's just the way it is. And then after he tells you you're not allowed to drink alcohol, according to the steps, you continue to drink alcohol in front of him. Then he tells you you have 3 other active warrants, and then you get angry, and then you start calling him names. And then what do you do? You empty the beer on the sidewalk and throw the can in the street, which he rightfully so told you that's littering, which, by the way, people, please stop littering. The fact that you're smoking a cigarette and you put it on the ground and stomp it out, that's still littering.
Yes, ma'am.
Nobody wants to clean up after you.
Mhm.
All right. Do you have any children?
I have a daughter, she's 26, and 4 grandkids.
All
4
right.
Little boys.
And how old are your grandchildren?
8, 6, 5, and 4.
All right. And do you live by yourself?
I stay at the Haven for Whole program right now. Ever since COVID, I was a supervisor for UPS, and I went through a bad relationship, and I was in a depression, and I was doing drugs and alcohol, but I already learned my lesson, and I want to get back to supervising. I'm going to try to be a supervisor at Amazon. It's a new one they opened over there.
All right. And what drugs were you using when you were using?
I was using meth, drinking beer and alcohol, and I was smoking marijuana. I wouldn't intervene anything, I should have, but I was smoking and snorting methamphetamine, which was my downfall mainly.
Okay.
I kind of know.
All right. And did you have an allergic reaction?
Yes, I have eczema, but they don't give me the medicine, and I was only using Vaseline.
Okay.
It's like it dries up, and when the dry skin comes up, it turns red.
No, I just want to make sure your health was okay.
I'm good. I'm good. Right now I currently work on Higher Quest. It's a temp service, and I plan on going back there and being at the courtyard and even follow. To get right back, I'm with the CHCS. I have counselors. I have a doctor for my medication because I have mood disorders and everything. But everything's over. I just got to go and check in as soon as I get out
Right.
of
So
here.
you know you have to follow rules.
Yes,
And you were having a hard time following rules in the box with speaking to the people in the audience, then speaking to other inmates in the box. You have got to internalize what rules are. And I know you know what the rules are, and you got to follow those. Otherwise, if you don't, there are going to be consequences. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. I do.
All right. This is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 2 years deferred adjudication. There's a $1,500 fine that will be probated. Take in consideration 729,376, 150 hours of community service restitution, regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular random UAs.
Does that include alcohol?
Yes, you're not allowed to drink alcohol while you're on probation.
Okay.
There's to be proof of employment
I can do that.
within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. In custody is going to be a TAP evaluation and a referral to felony drug court. Felony drug court will probably be able to see you on Monday. If he's not accepted into felony drug court, then he's to follow all recommendations of TAP. There's to be 120 sober meetings in 120 days. And also, if he's not accepted into felony drug court, and if TAP is recommending inpatient treatment, then he's going to be in inpatient treatment. If TAP is not, see if he can have a referral to lifetime recovery.
How about corners, cross points? I was at cross points before, so it's like lifetime recovery.
We're going to follow these rules.
Okay.
Okay. There's to be field visits one time per month for 4 months. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once he completes the parenting classes, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied.
Thank you, Ken.
Probation is, oh, and anger management class. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there anything else you need from the court?
I just wanted to know how soon will I be released?
Oh, well, it depends. If the TAP evaluation says you need inpatient treatment, you're going to be going to inpatient treatment. If felony drug court accepts you, then felony drug court will give you your conditions. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yeah,
And did you sign it?
Yes.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Okay.
All right, good luck to you. All right, so where are we on this case?
As of yesterday, Vishon told me she is fifth on the list. So this is the client that was sent to DTR just, and I think 2 weeks ago or so when we came in, she was 10th on the list. Now she's in fifth. She has been in custody since August. Part of it is, of course, that she did get an MTR and accepts responsibility, but
All right, she looks exactly like her mom.
they
Or should
do.
I say her mom looks?
Yes.
Yeah,
And the reason why.
that's a good thing.
They look, they could be sisters.
They do. If somebody would say, are these two people related? I would say, yes, they are.
Exactly. And so her mom's in Baytown. She would like Layla, rather than continue to wait for a bed and go through DDRF, she would.
Everyone, please whisper. We're on the record, sort of.
So she has a place for Layla to live. She's already reached out to a mental health psychiatrist.
All
in
right, so
Baytown.
we're gonna go on the record. Court is calling 2023 CR 3464, State of Texas versus Layla Tatton for defense.
Lauren Lefton.
All right. And are you Miss Tatton?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, this is a case where the defendant had entered a plea of true to a violation of condition number 1 on April 16th. There was an agreement that was reached with the state, which the court followed, which was to deny and alternate amend conditions to a MIC evaluation and DDRF and anger management. And it's the court's understanding that she was accepted to DDRF. However, there's a wait time for DDRF. And in April, the court asked that it be expedited. And counsel, I understand that you say that she's been in custody for a while, but part of that was because of the new number 1 and the motion to revoke.
Yes, but she had actually been ordered to DDRF prior to the motion to revoke and had kind of gone through the process prior to the MTR. And I think had maybe just been put on the official waiting list, like completed the evaluations and approval process. But she has been in custody since August of 23, kind of going through this process. And she did complete the anger management while in custody since the last court date. She does have the certificate of completion.
Okay. All right, probation.
Yes, sir.
With regards to this case, the reason why it was brought back is because she said that she could stay with her mom, but children always assume they can do things just because it's mom and mom is going to say yes. So I ordered the defense and to have the mom present so I could ask her whether or not she could stay and whether or not there were arrangements that are going to be made to address her mental health issues. So with regards to the DDRF, she's fifth on the list.
That is what, according to yesterday.
And we don't know how long that means. All right. Is there any concern with her being violent or anything of that nature?
Your Honor, the concern for violence in regards to incidents that happened in the jail where the number one was issued, that's the only concern that we have. We have not been able to supervise Stanton to give you further.
All right. Do you have any witnesses?
If the court would like, I could ask some questions of Ms. Diaz, who's on Zoom.
All right. Are you Crystal Diaz?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You can lower your hand. Any objections to her appearing by Zoom?
No, Your Honor.
All right. If you'll state your name for the record.
Crystal Diaz.
All right. Defense.
Crystal, what is your relationship to Layla?
Mother.
Okay, and are you wanting her to reside with you in your home rather than attend the DDRF program at this time?
At this time, yes.
And what support can you provide her to be successful in your home?
I have health insurance on her, and I have a vehicle, so I can make sure that she attends, continues her practice with psychiatry. I know that she's been taking medication, or she was taking medication. I don't know if she still is. So she'll need to continue those meds. And so I am able to get her into a physician because I do have her on my medical insurance.
And do you have a name of a psychiatrist she could see to provide to the court?
Yes, it is a Rudy Lozano carry-on.
Okay, and how long has Layla been getting psychiatric services in Baytown?
Since she was in third grade.
Okay, and do you believe that the time Layla has spent in custody has helped change the direction she's been going on in terms of her choices?
Honestly, all I can say is I hope.
And
You
do you
know,
think,
I hope so.
but you're ready to support her to be successful on probation? If
I
released?
will support her as long as she is doing what she's supposed to be doing.
Okay, so you're gonna hold her accountable?
Yes, absolutely. I've always have. So that's a lot of the reason why she has been in and out of my home. I will hold her accountable, and you know, unfortunately, if she knows if she does not change and does not stick with the plan, she will not be in my home.
Do you feel that she's ready to stick with the plan at this time?
I am really praying that she is, and she's told me that she is, and all I can do is give her this chance. But she knows that she's become a young adult, and my chances with her are wearing thin, but I want to give her an opportunity to definitely, give it a shot, as long as she's willing to, attend the medical appointments, get a job and do good, make smart choices with friends. And then, I'm going to do whatever I can to support her.
Thank you. No further questions, Cheryl.
All right. I just have a few. So you said the psychiatrist that she's seeing is Dr. Rudy Lozano Carrion?
That is the psychiatrist. So the doctor that she has seen since she was a child Mohammed Ahmed is not taking our insurance, so I had to find a new physician. It would have been ideal to stick with Dr. Ahmed because they do have a really good relationship. He's been very supportive of Layla. Layla was in a very bad car accident at the age of 16, and he was right there supporting her through that with the trauma that she experienced from that. So, but unfortunately, she will have to see a new physician, and this is the physician that my insurance has recommended to me.
All right, and do you already have an appointment scheduled for her if she's released to stay
I
with
have
you?
I have not scheduled her an appointment yet because she is an adult. She has to call, especially with psychiatry services. She has to call and initiate that herself. She has to be the willing participant as the adult saying, I'm a new patient. I need this treatment. Here's my history. She has to give that information herself. But as she comes into my home, I'm going to make sure that is done immediately. So that is how I guess I'm going to help facilitate that. But they want her to make that initial phone call.
All right, and do you have any fear for your safety if she were allowed to stay with you?
No.
Okay.
I know that she can, you're talking about anger management, and yes, she is angry, but she's not a violent person. I mean, she's been in an environment that is violent itself. So it's kind of the survival mode. I think she also feels that she a lot of times it's, from my understanding, for her to defend herself.
Mhm. All right, and is there a place for her to have outpatient treatment as it relates to any type of drug addictions?
I know that there's an A, and I'm sure that the physician, once we get there, there'll be recommendations that he can give us as far as outpatient. But I know that there are Alcohol Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous as well, and in the area.
All right, so and do you have a landline phone?
No, ma'am.
All right. Because GPS is going to be one of the best things. And I think GPS still only does landline.
I thought they didn't. I thought they could do it without a link.
All right, if you all will check into that, and I'm going to order GPS until she has some treatment sessions with the psychiatrist under her belt. Yes.
Is that going to be reward for these, like, these are one or two obtain, yes, outside?
Which do you think is best?
Judge, depending on whether you're looking for permission to transfer, we'll determine that.
All right, well, we'll,
Are you?
as far as transfer, as soon as possible. I know probation has to contact, I guess, the office in Baytown to see if they'll accept her.
Right, but because it's within the state of Texas, we can go ahead and let her go.
All right, then let's do it immediately then.
So through work release.
Yes.
And I was,
Thank
Ms. Diaz, if you need to get a landline in the next few days, are you willing to do that?
Actually, I think my internet that I have, I think it comes with free landline. I just don't utilize it. So I'll need to check on that. I
Thank you.
think I just got rid of my phone because we weren't using it.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Layla Tammy.
All right, you understand that if I follow this plan, you need to stay with your mom.
Yes, ma'am.
If there's an issue with your mom, maybe your mom no longer wants you to stay there, or there's some type of blow up. If it's an emergency situation, you can leave, but you'll need to immediately call your probation officer and let them know. And then you're going to come back to Bexar County. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You are not allowed to leave her residence without permission from the court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And when I say leave her residence, of course, you can go to your doctor's appointments. But I mean, spending the night somewhere else, being around this ex-boyfriend, and what's the ex-boyfriend's name?
Michael Martin.
Michael Martin.
Yes, ma'am.
You are not to have any contact with Michael Martin. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And these friends that are in the police reports that you've been hanging around with, you're not allowed to do that. You're allowed to concentrate on your mental health, to concentrate on completing this probation. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So they proceeded on count 2. And let me see. The range of punishment for that is 2 to 20 years in prison. So if a motion to revoke is filed against you, and it's proven to be true, you're looking up at potentially 20 years in prison. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So you had better start taking this very seriously, and you need to make that appointment with your psychiatrist. And I'm going to order that you make that appointment with your psychiatrist within 7 days. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
That means you pick up the phone, you call them, you make an appointment. Do you understand?
Yes.
And you're going to turn that over to probation.
Yes, ma'am.
So what I'll do is I'll alter them in conditions. And she is to the following. She's to reside with her mother. And I'm sorry, what is your full name again? Crystal?
Diaz,
She's to reside with Crystal Diaz. You're not allowed to leave or live anywhere else without the court's permission. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
There is to be GPS, waive fees, and that will be done through work release. And it will be GPS partial for medical appointments. And that's all I'm going to do it for now. And then once I see that there's improvement, then I'll allow her to do other things.
And we'll check in with the court if there's job opportunities and see if the court will give us permission for that
Yes.
when the time is right.
Yes. So there'll be medical appointments. She is to contact Dr. Rudy Lozano Carrion within 7 days. And there'll be intensive outpatient treatment with probation. And there'll be 90 sober meetings in 90 days. And there'll be a transfer to Baytown.
Baytown. Yes.
What is the county?
Harris. It's part of Harris County.
Okay. Probation, is there anything else? All of the conditions are course to remain.
So that, can we just put on the record that DDRF is held in abeyance or no longer?
All right, DDRF will be held in abeyance. And for the record, the reason why the court is doing that is because according to defense counsel, the defendant has been in custody since August. And I have on my docket sheet that DDRF was ordered expedited on April 16, 2024. And she is number 5 on the list for DDRF. And no one knows what time frame that is. It could be this month. It could be 3 months from now. No one has any idea of the time frame. So that is the reason why the court is alternating and amending conditions to have her see medical personnel outside of custody. And for the record, the court has reviewed the Takami screening and also the TAP evaluation. Is there anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, is there anything else you need from the court?
No, ma'am.
All right, who are you going to be residing with?
My mom, Crystal Diaz.
And when are you allowed to stop residing with your mom?
Not at work unless
until I say so. You understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing, your mom is stepping up, allowing you to live with her. And I know sometimes people will say, I'm an adult. I can do this, I can do that. But you can't, because that's your mom's house. So if your mom wants the television off at 10, it's got to be off at 10. And I say this from experiences with my grandmother when children would transition, from the military and then move from our house. It was, hey, these are the rules. And they would come to my mom, is she allowed to do that? My mom's like, yeah, those are the rules. Get your own place and you can do what you want to do. So for now, you are going to be living with her. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So what's going to end up happening is as soon as they have the GPS monitor, then you'll be free to reside with your mom. And you all have to work on if somebody's picking her up.
We'll arrange transportation.
All right. Anything else?
No, thank you very
All
much.
right. You're welcome. All right. Good luck to you. Have a great one.
You too. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
Yes,
for
live
zooming
with
in.
your mother.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Is it off document?
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
File from the back?
All right, court is calling 2024 CR 1225, State of Texas versus Natasha Morgan. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Andrew Harris Sadelman.
for the defense?
Peter Calderola standing in for Mr. Humberto Saldana for
Yeah.
Miss Morgan.
And are you Miss Morgan?
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
all right.
I got a little sore throat because the air conditioner over there in my dorm in Two Bravo is freezing cold, and I'm sorry, my voice is low. I wasn't talking to nobody, Your Honor. I respect the judge. My mother was Air Force pilot, 97-286, even though I broke the law before. I apologize.
Oh, your apology is,
To a lot.
your
Several
apology is
months.
accepted.
It's horrible, the conditions.
Yeah. All right, so here is my question. Defense, have you had a chance to confer with her? She said that she was hearing voices or,
I take medication. I take Geodon.
all right, and do you
Yes.
believe she's currently competent?
I do so believe, Judge. I did speak with Mr. Saldana and he expressed that his intention to go forward with this plea and Miss Morgan's intention to go forward.
All right, Ms. Morgan, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
My name is Natasha Elizabeth Malloy Morgan, Your Honor.
All right, so this attorney is standing in for Mr. Cabanas. Do you have any objection to this attorney standing in?
No, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right, have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report state?
No, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. And we'll continue after the state has reviewed.
Yes.
All right. Mr. Edelman, do you need time to review? Do you need more time?
No, Your Honor.
All right, any objections to the PSI report?
No objection. Judge.
State any objections?
No, Your Honor.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Not at this time, Judge.
All right, Ms. Morgan, if you were released, where would you be living?
I was gonna go to the Hayden, while you was gone on a vacation, I seen Judge Han, I believe her name is, on May the 17th, Your Honor. And she had asked me the same question that you asked me.
All right, that would probably be Judge Her.
I'm sorry, I knew it
No
was
problem.
age.
All right, so with regards to your mental health issues, do you have a doctor that you see when you are not in custody?
No, I'm gonna roll in the Medicaid Superior and Amcon Insurance. They have Central Meds up there, but they have Center for Health down the street that they have a psychiatrist there that will be available to give me my psychiatric medication. Release if you decide that it's in your favor, in your judgment to release me on the 10 years of probation plea of agreeable bargain. Yes, ma'am.
All right, and state you may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, the court is going to sentence you to 10 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 10 years. There's a $500 fine that will be probated. She's going to be on the MIC caseload,
Yes, Your Honor.
and that's based upon the evaluation that the court has seen. I'm going to ask for a trauma assessment. And I'm asking for that based upon what's in the PSI report. There's to be restitution, if any, to Jerry, Jeri Brown. I'm going to do a referral to Esperanza Court based upon what I've reviewed in the PSI report. If she's not accepted into Esperanza Court, then we will, that'll be the first one. If she's not accepted there, then we'll try felony drug court. The reason why I'm suggesting these, now, here's the thing. You have issues going on with you. I'm reading the PSI report. I've read the PSI report. I've seen your diagnosis. Going to Haven Hope is not the best place for you. You need a place where one, and these programs that I'm recommending to you, they're all outpatient programs. But you are going to be in custody for the weekend. Felony drug court and Esperanza Court, they will send someone over to interview you Monday or Tuesday. And if you're accepted in those programs, you'll probably be released on Wednesday and you'll be released to be in their program. What I can tell you is Esperanza Court and Felony Drug Court, they'll be able to help you with housing. They'll be able to help you with any mental health issues, and that's what you need. You understand? All right. And they will do it by next week, it will be done. It's not going to be done. Well, there's still a strong possibility they may be able to see you this week, but because of the holiday, it may not be 100% this week, but definitely by the following week. And counsel, if it's not done by Tuesday of next week, just come back in and we'll have it brought over and I'll do something else.
Yes, Your Honor.
But you need to be open and honest with them. You understand? All right. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular random UAs. There's to be proof of employment or SSI within 45 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Field visits, one time per month until proof of stable medication compliance, and a referral to Center for Healthcare Services. There's to be 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order anger management. Once that's completed, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. Probation, is there anything else she needs?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
I wanted to ask you, am I allowed to speak?
Sure, yes.
I don't understand, I've been in psychiatric care since the age of 9 years old, state of Oklahoma
Mhm.
and in Texas. And I just don't see how psychiatric, I mean, like everybody wants me to take medication, it seems like, for issues. But, you know, I did 20 years in prison, 12 years administration segregation. I hadn't been in trouble in 4 years. And 2 of them imprisonments was on false allegations. And then on this one, I mean,
Well, here's the thing. Let me explain something to you. So with regards to medication, if the doctor says you don't need medication, if the doctor says, she just needs therapy, then that's what we'll do. But what I'm reading in the TAP evaluation, it states that you're on medication at the jail.
yes,
So,
yes, ma'am, I do take the medication jail issues, but I do know within my rights as a state, I've been to Sasho, Chandler, Laurel Ridge, I've been to mental hospitals. Like I said, state of Oklahoma, my mother was military, I was myself in Post Oklahoma. If that's court order, I mean, like medication, I don't use drugs or alcohol or anything
well,
like
this is what I can tell you.
Is it-
Legally, with medication, if you choose not to take the medication, what's going to end up happening is you may or may not decompensate. If you decompensate and become incompetent, they are probably going to take you into custody because this is considered a violent offense. And then they will seek to help you regain competency. And if they determine that medication is what will make you become competent and you choose not to take it, it will go before a judge. And then when it goes before that judge, they'll have a hearing on whether or not medication is to be forced.
So what do
And
you?
here's the thing, you'll have an attorney to represent you at that hearing. I'm just giving you these rules and I give people conditions. You have a choice. You can follow them or not follow them.
Yes, ma'am.
That is completely up to you.
Yes,
And of
ma'am.
course, there are consequences when we make certain choices. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
You already signed.
Did you review that with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am. I just must have signed this on May 17th.
All right. And did you
Yeah.
understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you. If you need anything, just let the court know. All right, could I see, sir, thank you.
Maybe excuse me.
Yes.
Have a safe flight, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Sergio Barrera.